So today, we're going to dig into a philosophical framework called Natureness. And it all stems from one simple but really profound observation about how we relate to the world. And honestly, it just might change the way you see, well, everything.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question for you. Are your thoughts separate from nature? I mean, we tend to think of our own consciousness, our human minds, as something special, something apart from or even above the rest of the natural world. But this whole framework, it challenges that core idea.
And at the absolute heart of it all is this incredible quote. My thought comes from nature. To defeat me, you need to be nature. Wow, that's a heavy one, right? It's basically saying that our thinking isn't some outside force acting on the world. It's an expression of the world. So what does that even mean?
Okay, to really get this, we have to start by planting a seed. And that seed is a huge shift in perspective. It's about seeing ourselves not as rulers above nature, but as being completely and totally within it.
In this visual here, it nails the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the way we usually see things. Humanity at the tippy top of a pyramid, separate from and in charge of nature. But look at the right. That's a totally different world. Nature is the entire system, the whole circle. And humans? We're just one branch growing out of it. We're an expression of the system, not something sitting on top of it.
And this leads to a pretty wild idea. Your thinking is literally nature becoming self-aware, reflecting on itself through you. I mean, think about it. Your brain, your body, your consciousness, it's all made from the same atoms as the earth. In a very real sense, we are nature thinking about nature.
So once you've planted that little seed of an idea, how does it actually grow? Well, this whole concept builds out into a really clear, structured path. It's a step-by-step framework to get you there.
Okay, so this path to natureness has 5 distinct stages. It all starts with nature itself. Then you move to observation. From there, it requires a state of innocence, which then leads you to awareness, and the whole thing culminates in this state of natureness. Let's break each one down.
First up, stage 1, nature. This is the bedrock, the whole shebang. It's the entire Earth system, all the physics, all the biology, all the ecosystems working together. The key thing to remember is that this is the system we are inside of, not separate from.
So how do we start to understand this massive system? Well, the entry point is super simple: observation. It's just the act of paying attention, noticing patterns, seeing how things are connected, watching how things change. We're not talking about complicated theories here. It's just about looking at what's right in front of you.
Now, this next one, stage 3, is subtle, but it is absolutely crucial: innocence. The source material calls this purity. What it means is trying to observe without all your pre-existing biases and assumptions getting in the way. It's about looking at the world without already having your mind made up. It's that open, receptive mindset that lets you actually see what's there.
And when you combine that deep observation with that innocent state of mind, boom, you get awareness. This is what the source calls clarity. It's that aha moment. Suddenly, the patterns just pop out at you. You start to see the connections, the cause and effect, and you begin to understand how the systems really work, like a food web or a weather pattern.
And all of this leads us to the final stage, natureness. This is where it all comes together. It's a state of being where you don't just know in your head that you're part of nature, you truly feel it in your bones. And when you feel that connection, a sense of responsibility and alignment just happens.
But, getting to this state isn't just automatic. It takes a really delicate and super important balance between two of those mindsets we just talked about.
The framework has this really beautiful way of putting it. Purity is innocence, clarity is awareness. See, you need both. You need that open-mindedness of innocence, but you also need that sharp understanding that comes from awareness. One without the other just doesn't work.
And just think about what happens if that balance is off. If you have only innocence, you end up kind of naive, right? You see things, but you don't understand the deeper patterns. But if you have only awareness, you can become really rigid, maybe even a little ego-driven, always trying to fit the world into what you already know. It's only when you combine them, that pure innocence plus that sharp awareness, that you get to natureness. So really, when it all comes together, natureness is this beautifully balanced state of mind. It's a mind that can be both open and attentive at the same time. Simple enough to see what's actually there, but observant enough to understand what it all means.
So what's the payoff here? What's the point of all this? You could say, what's the fruit that grows from this philosophical tree?
Well, this mindset isn't just some abstract idea that stays in your head.
it actually starts to cultivate a whole set of guiding attitudes in your life. You naturally develop a deep respect for the Earth's systems, a real curiosity for all kinds of life, a feeling of responsibility for the ecosystems you're a part of, and, this constant desire to keep observing and keep learning.
Ultimately, what this framework is telling us is that our goal as a species maybe shouldn't be about conflict or trying to dominate nature. Maybe the real goal is just understanding. Truly and deeply understanding this magnificent, complicated system that we are lucky enough to belong to.
So after going through all these stages, all these ideas, if you had to boil it all down, what's the one simple message at the very heart of this entire framework?
It's this: one Earth, one life. It's a powerful reminder that all of us, everything, we're all just different expressions of a single, interconnected living system. And that's not just a poetic idea, right? That's a biological and ecological fact. And maybe, just maybe, understanding that is the most important thought nature can ever have.